Beginner tutorial for Restic. We're going to look at backup, restore, snapshots, and forget, and also the prune command. So let's see how you would make a backup with Restic. You type in Restic, init to initialize a repository, which we're going to use here. Now, what is a repository? In this context, a repository would be your backup location. I've cheated a bit and created a folder right here. The path to the folder is, in this case, home, Zen, documents, and backup tutorial. So if we run this command, we're going to go ahead and create a repository, and it's going to create some files in here and some folders, and this is where your backup is going to be. So we need to run this command to set it up. After that, we're going to type in Restic-R. Gonna look at the repository we created. We're gonna look at something called snapshots. Snapshots are a kind of versioning where you can select previous versions of backups to restore. It's based upon changes to files, so it's something that's closely resembled to an incremental and differential backup. After this, we're gonna go ahead and create a backup. So we're going to select which directory we want to back up. In this case, we're going to select the same repository. This is going to be the same throughout. Then we're going to use the backup command. And then we're going to select the location of what we want to back up. In this case, it's just the sync video I use every time I want to record on a capture card and on my PC to save resources. That's a different video though. Now we go ahead here and we add in the actual location we want to back up the data from. So we want to save the data here in the repository, but we don't have a repository yet. So what we're going to do is that we're going to open a terminal, going to copy and paste this data in, and now you need to select a password for your repository. Remember it. You need to type it in twice, so don't get it wrong. So what we want to do is that we want to look at snapshots, and there are none. But we still need to type in the password to check. There we go. As you can see, this is the name of the repository. It's been opened successfully. Password is correct. Create a new cache. There we go. It's fine. Now to make the first backup, we actually want to run this command. Again, Restic-R. We're selecting this repository, or the repository in this directory. Then we're using the option called backup. And then we're backing up the data in this directory. We'll just run this for a second. And as you can see, we have processed 8 files, and it's 145.985 kibibytes, not kilobytes, but kibibytes, because it's 1024. Anyway, we can see that we have saved some data. Now, if we use the command Restic-R, the repository, and snapshots, we can see that now we should have a snapshot. Now, if we go into the folder we synchronized from, if we look at the folder we backed up, and I just want to delete a few files, and let's say I make a new snapshot by using this command to make a new backup, it's going to create a snapshot. In this snapshot, the deleted files will not exist. Another way to look at it is that if we restore the oldest one, the first snapshot we made, or backup, we'll get all the files. If we do it with the second one, we will get it with the missing files. I'll show you how to do a restore. So all the data is theoretically in here, and it's managed by this selection of folders and files. You can see there's some snapshots, there's some definitions in there. As you can see, they start with about the same, right? 125, 1, this one, and then we got AA13. So you can see there's some correlation to it. There's a way to remove snapshots. I will show in a moment. But first, I'm going to go into my documents folder. I'm going to make a directory and I'm going to call it restore. Let's go into that directory, pwd, because we're going to list the path we're in. This is where we want the restore to be. Because I just deleted some files I didn't want to delete, and then I made a backup. So to get these files back, I'm going to type in Restic. Going to select the same repository as before. So I'm just going to press up on the keys to get back. Now we want to do a restore. We want to restore all the files. So we will select the ID of the path we want to restore. But first we want to select a target, which in this case is the restore folder. And then what do we want to restore? Well, we want to restore a snapshot. And we do this by selecting an ID. So it's restore the ID and then target. And if we go list everything in here, you can see there's a folder. Go into the restore folder. It has the full directory path as the backup. It's a bit mysterious, but it works like this. And as you can see, we have everything we want in here. So let me just copy this. Open a new window. We're in the restore folder here. So let's say we went with the other snapshot. Gonna remove that. Let's run this command again. But we're gonna use the other ID, which is going to be this one. You can see it by the time. It was the newest created one. And you will see that there's quite a few less files. Because based upon this snapshot, some files were deleted. And if we look, we only get these files. Now we can use the other restore. It will change the changes that has been made to the file that it has, and it will leave the existing files alone. So if we try to restore the one with the fewer files now, it will still keep the rest in here. Because it's only overwriting the files it has listed in its repository. So it doesn't delete other files when doing this. Which is why you can choose to restore from the bottom up. And it's just gonna make the whole thing. Okay, I'm just showing this with a restore folder, or a folder we call restore, so you can get just a section of it. There are other ways to do this. You can choose an option called include or exclude when making backups, and when restoring to select certain paths. So you don't get the whole documents folder if you want to take a backup, but you only take the last part of that, you know, the directory itself, and then the content of it. You can do many things, and it's especially helpful when you're making huge backups to select some sections. Maybe you don't want to back up your game files, but you want to back up your save files for like Steam. So that's how you do a snapshot backup and restore. Now, there's another command. So first I need to get the repository here. And then we need to look at snapshots again. because we're going to see how we can forget snapshots. Now, the latest one, let's call it a mistake, because I deleted some files that I shouldn't have deleted. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to type in forget, and then the snapshot name we want to forget. And it's now going to forget this. But it has not deleted the snapshot. It still exists. So you can do this a few times. You can delete some of these. And when you want the files to be absolutely gone and completely unrestorable, you type in prune, which will delete the extra data. In this case, we're not really saving a lot of space, but it's still cleaning up our snapshots. That's it for now. This is the beginning to this amazing tool. There's a lot of options, as you can see. Go and read the man page for the file, the manual page, or go ahead and just type Restic in your terminal, and it will already pop up with this list of helpful information. You can also use -h or --help to get this helpful information. This is it for now. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.